Diplomatic. Becoming diplomatic requires a careful balance of tact, objectivity, and emotional intelligence. A diplomatic person navigates sensitive issues with grace, understanding, and neutrality, facilitating better communication between differing parties. Here's how you can work on being more diplomatic with examples to elucidate each point. Firstly, consider timing and setting when communicating. Sensitive discussions or critiques are often best conducted in private, where parties are less likely to feel cornered or defensive. For example, if you need to discuss a colleague's underperformance, it's more diplomatic to do this in a private meeting room rather than in an open office where others might overhear. Listening is a key aspect of diplomacy. Rather than waiting for your turn to speak, truly hear what the other person is saying. Pay attention to both their words and their nonverbal cues like tone and body language. For example, if two team members are having a heated debate in a meeting, a diplomatic person would actively listen to both parties and try to understand the underlying concerns instead of immediately taking sides. Express yourself clearly and carefully, using neutral and non-accusatory language. Aim to be concise and get to the point without veering into unnecessary details that could muddle the message. For example, if you disagree with a proposal, you might say, "I see where you're coming from, but have you considered the impact on our current resources?" rather than bluntly saying, "This won't work." Active negotiation skills are central to diplomacy. When faced with conflicts or differing opinions, seek a middle ground that respects both sides. Instead of focusing on winning the argument, aim for a mutually beneficial solution. For instance, if team members are conflicted about project timelines, a diplomatic approach might be to prioritize tasks and negotiate deadlines that are reasonable for everyone. Being diplomatic also means being aware of cultural and individual sensitivities. Always take into account the background and perspectives of the people you are interacting with. For example, if you're dealing with international colleagues, make sure to be aware of any cultural nuances or taboos to avoid inadvertently causing offense. Maintaining a calm demeanor is another hallmark of diplomacy. This doesn't mean you should suppress your emotions, but rather manage them in a way that keeps the conversation productive. For example, if a meeting becomes heated, taking a few deep breaths and maintaining a composed tone can help de-escalate the situation and guide it back to a more constructive path. Accountability is a key aspect of diplomacy. Owning up to your mistakes not only shows maturity, but also helps diffuse potential conflicts. If, for instance, you realize you're inadvertently sharing incorrect information in a team meeting, promptly acknowledging and correcting your error can prevent misinformation from spreading and also maintain your credibility. Lastly, practice discretion. A diplomatic person knows when to speak and when to remain silent. Not every situation requires your opinion, and sometimes it's wiser to observe first. For example, if you are new to a team and notice interpersonal dynamics you don't fully understand, it may be more diplomatic to withhold judgment until you have a more nuanced understanding of the situation. In summary, becoming more diplomatic involves mindful timing, active listening, clear communication, negotiation skills, cultural sensitivity, emotional regulation, accountability, and discretion. Each of these elements, supported by real-world examples, contributes to a diplomatic approach in both personal and professional interactions. By consistently applying these principles, you can navigate complex social landscapes with greater finesse and effectiveness.